for the practice quiz for Chapter 2. In finding midpoint, slope, and distance, you should take the time to say the equation, write the equation, write a template, circle, box, plug, chug. So starting with midpoint, the midpoint equation is add the x's, divide by 2, add the y's, divide by 2. Our x's are 5 and negative 7, and our y's are negative 4 and 8. Circle, box, plug, chug, that's going to be negative 2 over 2. This is going to be 4 over 2. Our final answer here is negative 1, comma, 2 for the midpoint. For slope, the template is y minus y over x minus x because it's rise over run. And here we're going to circle, box, plug, chug. So we circle the x's and we box the y's. Rise goes with the y's, so I'm going to go 5 minus negative 4. And I'm going to go 7 minus 2. Watch your double negatives. The answer is 9/5. Distance, giant square root. Subtract the x's squared. Subtract the y's squared. Circle, box, plug, chug. Circle the x's. Box the y's. For my x's, I'm going to go left to right. Notice the arrow. And for my y's, again, I'm going left to right as well. Notice the arrow. Keep everything underneath the square root sign. Watch your double negatives. This is negative 8 squared. Double negative, that's going to be 9 squared. Negative 8 times negative 8 is 64. 81 underneath the square root sign. We're going to add 64 and 81. And it's going to be square root 145. For graphing a line, I'm going to use the intercept. So I'm going to do for the y-intercept, I'm going to put, here we have 2x minus 5y equals negative 10. For the y-intercept, I'm going to put a 0 where the y is, so I get 2x minus 0 equals negative 10. And in this case, x will equal negative 5. That's going to be the x-intercept. That's the y-intercept. And then for the other one, for the y-intercept, that's going to be 2x minus 5y equals negative 10. I put a 0 where the x is, so it's 0 minus 5y equals negative 10. Here, y will equal positive 2. Now I plot 0, negative 5, 0, comma, negative 5. Y-intercept is 2, comma, 0. And then you string a line through it. If you want to double check this, you can also do y equals mx plus b. So we're going to have negative 5y equals negative 2x minus 10. Divide by negative 5, divide by negative 5, divide by negative 5. I end up with y equals positive 2 over 5x plus 2. So here we have plus 2. That's your intercept. And your slope is going to be 2/5 So that's your rise is 2, your run is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that is your 2/5. Your rise over run, and we know it's a positive line. It says finger track and read the given information. Find everything marked directly on the diagram. We know S is between Q and T, and R is the midpoint of QS. So here is Q to S. R is a midpoint. So that means these two segments are equal. We also know that R to S is 4, and we know that R to T is 7. So what else can we find? Well, because of the midpoint, if this is 4, this must also be 4. And so we take here, we could take 4 away from 7 as well, and that's going to be 3. So now we can do the whole thing. The whole thing is going to be 4 plus 4 plus 3. So we know Q to T is going to be 11. And we know S to T is 3. Q to R is 4. Just as we knew R to T was 7, that was given. And we knew that R to S was 4, that was given. In the diagram below, find anything and everything that you can find. We know that angles across from each other are congruent because they are vertical. And so that means those are equal. These are equal going this way as well. And most importantly, angles which are a linear pair, they share a spine, they make a line, they add up to 180 degrees. So we ask ourselves what we can do here with that. If we can't do the 180 because we end up with two variables, an x and a z. So we're trying to combine alike variables. In this case, we have an x here and an x here. And I know across from each other they are congruent, so I'm going to go 7x minus 48 equals 8x minus 67. And minus 7x minus 7x. I'm going to do plus 67 plus 67. These cancel, those cancel. And so here is 1x equals, basically that's 67 minus 48. So x equals 19. Now, you want to take that and you want to plug it in, and we'll see if that actually works. So we're going to plug in 19 here. 7 times 19 minus 48, and 8 times 19 minus 67. So 7 times 19, and we're going to go minus 48, and we get 85, so I'm going to make this 85 degrees. And let's check the other one out. Now we're going to do 8 times 19 minus 67. And you get 85 as well. Now we're going to take a look here. And if this is 85, and this adds up to 180, to do z, z is going to equal 180 minus 85. And that, of course, is 95 degrees. So z equals 95 degrees, and vertical angles are congruent, so this also equals 95 degrees. And we have found everything possible. In the diagram below, find anything and everything that you can find. Let's see here. We have measure angle. JKM is 107. J LKM. The whole thing is 107 degrees. Cross it out as we use it. We're also told that LKM is 66. So LKM is 66 degrees. We're also told that KN bisects LKM. LKM. That means these two must be equal because of the bisector. Find everything and anything that you can find. Let's start with the bisector. Of course, you can take 66. It's cut in half, so this is 33. 33. And if the whole thing equals 107, this right here is simply going to be 107 minus 66. Of course, that's 41. So we have here the measure of angle JKL equals 41. The measure of angle LKN equals 33. The measure of angle NKM is also 33. And we have found everything possible. It says segment EF intersects GH at point Q. Angles EQG and GQF form a linear pair. EQG is twice the measure of GQF. QI bisects FQH. QJ bisects EQJ. Angle EQG and HQF are vertical. Find anything and everything that you can find. So right now, we highlighted and we drew. Now we're going to chunk. There's one chunk, another chunk, another chunk. There's the and, chunk at the conjunction, and one step at a time. It says segment EF intersects GH at point Q. So we have EF and we have GH at point Q. We're not told that it's a right angle, so I'm going to purposely offset it. Okay, we're going to cross that out as we have accounted for it. Angle EQG and GQF form a linear pair, so I'm going to EQG and GQF form a linear pair. That means they share a spine, they make a line. That implies they add up to 180. It says here that the measure of angle EQG is twice the measure of GQF. So EQG is twice of GQF. So if GQF is x, this is 2x. Ray QI bisects FQH. So let's trace FQH, FQH, QI bisects that. So I'm going to write QI here. Bisects means that those two are congruent. And the last but not least, we have QJ bisects EQH. So we go EQH is being bisected by QJ. QJ. It's our second set. Last, we have a set of vertical angles, EQG and HQF are vertical angles. How do we know that? If you trace over them, they make straight lines. Straight lines, and you're looking for bow tie angles. So that means these two angles that are directly across from each other are congruent, because vertical angles are congruent. It says find anything and everything that you can find. Let's start with our equation. We know that if this is 2x and this is x, that's going to add up to 180. Why? Because of that word linear pair. That implies something adds up to 180. So I'm going to come over here. 2x plus x equals 180. 3x equals 180. X equals 60. So this is 60 over here, 60 degrees, and this over here is 120 degrees. And then, if this is 120, the angles directly across from each other, that means this whole thing's 120. So I'm going to sweep it nice and big. 120 is 1 1/2, so that implies this is 60 and 60 degrees as well. These angles going across this way are also vertical. This is congruent to that. So if this is 60, this whole thing is 60. Those are cut in half, which implies that this is 30 and 30 as well. Now you look all the way around. If you found all angles, yes, and you are done.